Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. Another excited time for Scott. I don't know how long ago, it might have been, I don't know, 8 months ago, 9 months ago that I think you've been doing your videos that long that I ran across Oak the Duckman. I haven't really seen a whole lot of his content, but I ran across another one of his videos the other day. He was sitting down in his, it looked like on his back porch, and it looked like a neighborhood that I've spent a lot of time in Holly Springs, North Carolina. And and I was like, man, I wonder if that guy lives in Holly Springs, because it really did look like that neighborhood. So I figured I'd reach out to him and give everybody another, a chance to be able to get to know another one of our content creators a little bit better. So with that introduction, Oak the Duckman, what we like to do here on the XRP Army News is find out about you and your crypto experience and story, and where you feel like we are now and where you feel like that we're heading.
Sure. All right. Well, I will say now I'm going to call myself a crypto veteran, and I don't know if I deserve the title, but I've been in the crypto space for like 3 years now or so. I've been making videos, I don't know, it's got to be like a year and a half, or maybe almost 2 years. And I don't have the crazy amount of views that some people have. I wouldn't say I give it 150% on my channel. I make videos as it comes to me, as I feel like doing it, because I think if you're doing it that way, you're being more genuine. It's hard for me to crank out the same video day after day after day. Some people can do it. If you can, more power to you. But yeah, I've been in crypto for about 3 years or so. I had heard about Bitcoin a long time ago, back, I believe 2012 is when I really had heard about it from a friend at work. And he was all like, hey man, you got to get into this Bitcoin. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're telling me I'm going to buy something that's on the internet? I'm going to spend my real money on this like fake internet coin. Yeah. And that is somehow going to be a good investment.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I'm telling you, you got to get into this. I'm like, maybe. So, back then I'm like kind of a tech guy. I like to, tinker around all sorts of tech stuff. I find it interesting. And I thought, oh, that's cool. And I looked into like doing some Bitcoin mining and all this stuff, but I never really gave it any real effort. I thought it was just kind of a fad. I thought maybe it would go away. And I think that was probably due to the fact that I just didn't do my research at the time. I had other things on my mind. I just didn't really give a shit. So fast forward, and it's like 2017, and I'm at work. And I see the same guy back from 2012. I've worked at the same place for a long time. He was there. He said, hey, man, you got to get into crypto. I'm like, really? What? This crypto thing is still happening, huh? He's like, oh, yeah, now there's this banker's coin is what he told me. There's this banker's coin, and the banks are going to use it. And, for me, like, I never came at crypto thinking, this is some kind of decentralized technology that's going to free us or do anything like that. It's going to prevent the banks from being able to control our money, or the government from doing this or that. I never looked at crypto that way. I do have a libertarian mentality. I am all about, less. I'm all about more rights and less rules over you. But I never thought crypto would really be anything to speak of. So he's telling me there's this banker's coin. And this is, of course, after I heard that Bitcoin, went up crazy in value. And I'm like, all right, well, you're telling me there's a cryptocurrency that I can buy that banks might want to use. And I was like, you're sold. Because if there's something that is actually going to be used by, banks are incredibly powerful. I mean, the amount of money and power they have. If anybody's going to make a cryptocurrency worth more money, it's going to be the banks. And then he was kind of telling me, this company Ripple, but back then we just called it was called Ripple. I'm buying more Ripple,
Yep.
right? And they kind of went on and they were like, no, it's XRP. We're separated. We're Ripple, the company, and this is XRP. But back then I'm like, I got to get some of this Ripple. And he was just telling me about how they're working with regulators. They're trying to be on the right side of the law and work with the banks. It's super cheap. You need to get on board. It's already gone up in value like crazy. And actually, I think that was April of that year where it really went up from like sub 1 penny up to I don't remember where it went to, but he was like, yeah, I made a bunch of money in this Ripple. You got to get involved. So I asked him, I said, how do you buy the Ripple? He's like, I don't know, man. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? He said, I don't really know. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? You're shitty. You obviously know how to buy Ripple.
Yeah, you got to know.
So he kind of just was like, I don't know, man. I'm like, whatever, dude. So I went home and I learned, I taught myself how to buy Ripple. I started reading every cryptocurrency article I could find. I checked out some other cryptos. I was looking at Stellar Lumens. Looking at, I wasn't really a Bitcoin person. I've always been the kind of person who wants to buy the cheap coins with the low market caps, because I think those have the most room to grow. So I started getting involved in that, and I started just learning as much as I could about it. And I was convinced that Ripple and their use case for XRP was going to be something that sets them apart from other cryptocurrencies. And that is where I kind of became, I wouldn't say I was ever all in on XRP, but I was mostly in on XRP. I mean, I've always thought, there's other coins. They probably have some value, even if they're shit coins or trash. They're probably still going to have some value in the future. So it ended up, just blossoming into me trying to get on YouTube, which I thought was, hey, this is crazy. I'm going to try it. It'll be fun. And actually, the community was a lot better back then. I feel like a lot of people have kind of given up and kind of just sold their stuff and got out of XRP because they haven't seen the gains that they wanted. But the community was stronger back then. I got a lot of great support. And honestly, my videos have really just been about me bullshitting about crypto and just talking about my personal feelings. It's not a news channel. And, and I'm not giving any advice, obviously, like anybody. We're not giving financial advice.
Correct.
So it's kind of just been a journey doing that. And it's been fun, but it's been ups and downs. And anybody who's been holding XRP for all this time, you're right there with me. It's been rough. We've all expected things to happen. I mean, I remember talking about the bearable guy, the Ripple Riddler, the crypto bear, all this stuff. And, I don't know what happened with all that stuff. It was really entertaining and fun. I had a good time with that. And here we are. And, I think that probably the amount of people that are still watching my videos, it's probably pretty small. At least the same people from back then, because I think a lot of weak hands got shook out. I think a lot of people just gave up and said, fuck it, I can't hang.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I personally think, there's still a bright future for XRP. It's a majority of my holdings, and I've been waiting the whole time. I'm not selling XRP because I think Ripple still has a great use case, and they're pushing XRP. They're still they're still talking to regulators, governments, banks, and they're waiting to make moves. And now we've heard about the recent OCC ruling and saying that banks can hold crypto. So here we are. Things are moving in the right direction. I think it's inevitable. And when we do get to that next bull run, I think we're going to see every cryptocurrency it's just going to go up. Even the shittiest shit coins, I think are going to skyrocket.
I believe you're right. And Oak, one of the most difficult times that I've had as a hodler, and I'm a hodler, I'm not a trader.
Same
but
here.
when remember last October when Swell came and and we had all those previous years of the amazing moonshot that we're going to get because of Swell, the Swell effect, and nothing happened.
Yep. Nothing. That's another thing. I think this whole market is just manipulated.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy the amount of manipulation that's going on. And we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't think you can hold it forever. And I think probably even if these people, whoever they are manipulating the markets, at some point they're going to want to take profits. So they're going to want to jack that price up and make their sales and make some money. So I hope to ride on the back of these whales and increase the bags.
Well, one of the things that I'm really looking forward to, and I really do believe that this is going to happen, and I believe we're getting inching ever and ever and ever closer to it, is the institutional investor money. Like a Wells Fargo financial advisor is
Right.
going to tell his clients, once he can make a commission off of the recommendation, and they say, hey, we need to put 5% of your portfolio into this new digital asset, into the new asset that's available.
Right.
And I think that when that adoption begins, that's when we're really going to see, like Nagabo likes to say, the bank money come in.
Oh, right. And you know what, these guys, they're going to want to invest money for their clients, and they're not going to want to lose money for their clients. They're going to want to make money for their clients. And I think, regardless of whatever you think about how the stock market works and all this stuff, but this whole game is rigged, in my opinion. And if these guys need to make sure that their clients make money, and they need to be able to make sure that they can make money using crypto, they're going to do that. If crypto is going to be sliding down the toilet perpetually, they ain't going to make any damn money. They're going to lose money. That's not going to happen under these guys' watch. So I say give it time. It'll happen. Just when is it going to happen? That's the big question that just is floating out there.
Oak, how much longer do you believe that the Fed can keep propping up the stock market? I mean, I've mentioned this in just about every interview that I've done recently since I found it. When I heard that Hertz stock went up, I think it was the week after they filed bankruptcy, it went up 12%. I mean, that's the craziest thing. My college degree, I went to Appalachian State, and it's in radio and TV communications. It's not in economics or finance. But even I know something's wrong if a company files bankruptcy and then their stock goes up.
It's just common sense. But you know what? I'm surprised where we're at. And so, hey, I mean, making a prediction like that, who knows? I know a lot of people are like, oh, they're just printing money into oblivion and all this stuff. And I mean, they can just keep printing money. And at some point, we're hearing about maybe the gold standard coming back and stuff like that. I mean, I think that could probably be used. Maybe some debt will be wiped out. I mean, I'm not sure how it's going to work. I'm sure there's a plan. Is it a good plan? A lot of people are gloom and doom, with this stuff. I say wait and see. You don't know how much further they can keep pushing it, because like I said, I'm surprised we're here and it's still going further and further. So.
Well, George Gammon is a guy that we were very fortunate to interview, and one of my favorite financial guys. And I don't think that George believes that we can continue this, because at some point, according to what George, helped educate me about, Oak, is that we're going to hit hyperinflation at some point.
Right. It'll happen. I think the digital assets, cryptocurrency, the gold standard, I think some of these things can be tools to restart everything and be the new currency. I mean, I personally think I'm a Christian person. I believe that there will be some sort of tool to prevent people from buying and selling at certain points down the road. And I think that's cryptocurrency. I think that probably world economies are going to move over to something where there'll be more control over people's money. And this is the direction I think that is inevitable. So, whether that's, we're turning the economy over, we're going to flip it over, and now we're switching to this, and all your money is, don't worry about paying your debts here. Maybe we're going to switch it over to cryptocurrency. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not an economist. I'm just a regular guy. But I've seen so many of this gloom and doom, type videos, honestly, for years. For years, I've been hearing this. And we're not there yet. I'm not saying I know when we're going to be there, or if we are at all. I don't know, but
well, I was able to find another on a digital asset investor video today. He showed that asset class graph, bar graph, where it's got silver and it's got these tiny little boxes,
right.
and then we get down to the derivative debt.
Yeah, it's insane.
The upside 1.2 quadrillion. I mean, I'm 58 years old, and it is hard, even at this age, for me to begin to try to wrap my head around 1.2 quadrillion. But then I've got to understand, oh, yeah, the shitty banksters made commissions off every one of these.
Right.
So I can understand now why they sold them.
Right.
But when they're all set in, assets that are not going to bring the return on the investment on them, it's got to collapse. And the other thing that really scares me is the real estate market. All of these houses, all these homes that have not had their mortgages paid, and then we've got 41 million people filing unemployment, and then the restaurants at 50% capacity at best, and the stock market is still above 26,000 today.
Right. Well, that's Trump's claim to fame, right? The stock market. I'm a Trump supporter, but I will say this is obviously not natural. What's going on? It ain't natural.
Hey, can I quote you on that?
You can quote me on that.
Yeah, this is not natural.
But you know what? I mean, it's 2020, and all bets are off these days. So,
hey, dude, I thought it was supposed to be the year of the digital asset, but we got aliens, we got pandemic, we got. I mean, what in the hell is next? We got Hertz 12 points up after filing bankruptcy. I mean, it just doesn't get to me. One of the greatest things, though, that takes it all. And I don't mean to poke too much fun at our Bitcoin maxis. I love them too. I'm a crypto fan and enthusiast first. I hope they all go to the moon. But thinking now that Bitcoin is now our latest banker's coin, I mean, I have really, really, really enjoyed that for the last couple of days since that happened.
Yeah, I mean the whole Bitcoin thing. I'm honestly surprised the network hasn't just clogged up and just stopped working altogether before this. But I mean, there's no scalability. It's just not going to happen. So, you know what? Like you said, I'll be really happy. I think Bitcoin drags the market up. I think the price of Bitcoin right now is still correlating with every other altcoin. And there's no way around that. And I used to be more hardline, like against Bitcoin, like it's old, it's crap. I still kind of feel that way, but like you said, I kind of just don't care. I want to make money. If you guys want to make the price of Bitcoin go to 100K, please do, because I'll take my $50 XRP or whatever it is, maybe more. I'll take that any day. So, and you know what the thing about it is, any success in the crypto space, it drags everything with it.
Yes.
Companies start adopting cryptocurrency and using it, it's going to drag everything with it. People are going to say, oh, what's this new technology? Oh, well, there's also 5,000 other coins and they all do different things. There's different use cases. May want to check this out. Hey, this is the wave of the future. So that's to everyone's benefit. There's a lot of tribalism in crypto, and I think it's a little bit ridiculous. There are some shit coins out there, tongue in cheek. I'm not trying to, rain on anyone's parade, but there's a lot of crap projects out there that you could still make money in. So.
Right. Well, and again, I'm with you. At the end of the day, I'm interested in the money. I'm not doing this for to make a libertarian stand. I mean, right. I do have libertarian beliefs, and I do believe less government and more freedom for the people. But 50% of the country is Republican, and 48% Republican. 48% liberal Democrat, and 4% of me sitting here in the middle saying, hey, can't we all just get along? So, I'm not going to ever be able to, I don't think, to be able to have a third party candidate be able to go forward and win. So
no, I think it's inevitability. I don't, and that's the thing about it. I don't support cryptocurrency as taking over the financial system or being a method of government. It's a government method of control, the way it's going to
right.
be used, and I don't think there's any way around that. I don't support that. In fact, if it was up to me, there wouldn't be crypto. That's my personal opinion, because it's going to be co-opted and used in a way that's going to take away people's freedom. That's just what's going to happen. And even the privacy coins seems like some of them can even be tracked and used, and they're going to be used for laundering money and probably by governments. So I think there's a lot to lose here in the crypto space. I'm just trying to take the good with the inevitable bad, in my opinion. And maybe some people say I'm blackpilled and this is, like a I give up kind of view. That's not it. I just think there's no way around this. And talking about the banker's coin and stuff like that, if these guys want to make crypto a thing, they have the money and the power and the clout to do that. They want to use crypto to track people's movements, to track your money and how it goes, and stop you from buying things. They can do that, and they will do that. So it's unfortunate. Some people may think that's, have a negative view of that opinion. Look, I'm here to make money. What I'd love to do, make some money and disappear. And that sounds crazy to some people. Some people ask me, what are you going to do with your YouTube channel if crypto blows up? My YouTube channel will be gone. You won't find me anymore. I'll be out fishing on my property, on my 1,000 acres, and you'll never find me. I'll be growing my crops. I'll be off grid.
Hey, Oak, I grew up in the mountains of North Carolina. I live in the middle of the state now because I moved here to kind of look after my father and stepmother. And but when XRP moons, and then inevitably at some point they'll pass away. But I'm moving my ass right back up to the mountains of North Carolina. I'm going to live in a nice little place that's got really good television and really good internet and a long freaking driveway with a very strong gate.
Yep.
And the whole rest of this craziness, you guys can carry on, and I'll watch it all on television.
Yep.
But I agree with you. And I like the way that DAI put that too. They're going to do this anyway. So why shouldn't I put myself in a position to profit from it?
Right.
And the thing that I don't understand with the anarchists and the hardcore Bitcoiners that look at it from that, and the privacy coin people, is I just don't understand why they think that the bankers and the governments are just going to roll over and let this anarchy reign. They're just not going to let that happen.
People are just being naive. I mean, don't fool yourself. When is government and big money ever given back to the people, given more rights to the people, and allowed them to do more? When has that ever happened? We know the direction it goes. It's make however we can, we'll make money, and however we can, we'll take more for ourselves, more power and everything else. So well, it's inevitable.
I know we just met, but that seems what I can't shake out of my head is what you just said sounds reasonable. And when I listen to some of the Bitcoin or some of the more anarchist type mentality in the crypto space, I just can't quite get how they're thinking that we're going to be able to have this revolution. Because like you just said, never in the history of the world has it ever happened. Why in the heck would it be happening right now?
Right. And I don't know if there's some utopian dream that we're trying to achieve. Just people got to get real. It's just not going to happen. Everybody's out for themselves. These corporations, these governments, and people in them. So if it's going to happen, I'm going to try to make some money off of the back of these people. Unfortunately, it has to be like that. But
dude, I heard one time, if it's practical, it's spiritual. So I love your practicality of it, because that's exactly how I see it. And the other thing that I'm trying to do is to meet as many of the people. And it's one of the reasons that I put the channel to what I'm doing in the way that I'm doing it. I want to meet as many like-minded people as I can. And then after we moon, if we do end up tokenizing everything, if I find some like-minded people, hey, let's go buy some place together. Let's buy a piece of real estate. We got 200 or 300 of us. We're well funded. We're like-minded.
Buy yourself a country.
Yeah, let's all go by Epstein Island and remake that whole thing into a decent place instead of what it turned out to be.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to ask, a little off topic, is Maxwell going to make it to trial or get suicided?
That's a good question. I don't think she can be suicided right now. I think that's a little bit too much heat. I think it's a little bit too much heat. So I think she'll make it to trial, but there'll be probably like corrupt judges, and all the corrupt people will come out of the woodwork to handle the trial, and they'll just, let her get away with whatever. I think she's supposed to be worse than Epstein, from what I understand. I heard she was Epstein's handler.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, with the Mossad.
Yeah, I think she's the bigger fish, to be honest. But at least that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
he was just a puppet.
I ran across a guy named Sean Atwood on.
Yeah, I see his. I saw his YouTube.
Guy. Yeah, he's used to be the ecstasy king, and then got thrown into prison, and then he's Epstein all the time. And it's amazing that in the year of the digital asset, that everything with the pandemic has been so diverting our attention. We actually had the government release an admittance. Hey, I think we got UFOs that we really don't know what this shit is. And it just sort of came on the news and then just sort of went by instead of, oh my God, this is really important.
Well, now you're taking me down the rabbit hole here. You want to go into UFOs? Well, I don't believe in aliens. I don't believe in aliens. I don't believe in UFO. I mean, UFO, it's an unidentified flying object, sure. I don't believe it's an alien. I believe it's from right here on Earth, and I believe I believe those things are demons. And I mean, I don't have like biblical reference, but like I said, I'm a Christian person, and it's these features that these UFOs have, right? These are very compatible with demons from the Bible. I mean, they go hand in hand, 1-to-1. Seeing these amazing things they can do while they're flying at these insane rates, they're disappearing, they're doing all this. This is nothing surprising for somebody who believes in the Bible, or believes in the God of the Bible. So for me, it's just probably some of these aliens will appear and show themselves at some point, and maybe do some healing, some miraculous healing, or some great miracles with their incredible technology, which is basically maybe even like appearing like magic or something like that. And I think people will start to worship these beings. That's my personal feeling. So I guess they would go down the rabbit hole here, but
hey, I'm interested in being able to give you the platform so everybody in the community can get to know you a little bit better. Because again, there are going to be there are people out there who are more like you than some of the other people, and they're gonna look at it and maybe see this video and say, hey, if he's like me, he's got the same beliefs I've got, maybe I need to go ahead and check out this digital thing more than I have before. So that's wonderful.
The world's a big place, man. There's so much going on right now we don't know about, so much behind the scenes. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to get by. Like, I mean, that's what crypto is all about for me, right? I'm trying to better my life off the backs of these people who really have made people's lives worse.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to turn a negative into a positive,
Well, and I'm 58, and I know how much of XRP that I hold. And I mean, dude, it gets to $5, $10. I'm a cash out. I mean, I could hold on to $100, but I mean, I just can have enough to live simply and honestly. You know, the last third of my life, I'm good. I sold cars for 10 years. I'll tell you one thing, this cowboy ain't ever going to do, and that's overpay for transportation.
That's all it is transportation.
That's
Don't even
all
get
it
me
is.
started on car stuff, man.
Get you from point A to point B. I'll tell you another thing I'm going to never do. Never going to be buying more space than I need to just live in comfortably. I don't need a big house. I'm not, you know why, Oak? You know why I don't want to keep up with the Joneses? I don't even freaking like them. Why do I want to try to spend a whole bunch of money that is wasted to try to impress the Joneses when I don't even like them?
I hear you. And you know what? It's ridiculous. You know, just like you said, I value just having my own land way more than having a giant mansion house. I don't want that, right? Even the house I have now is bigger than what I need, to be honest. You know, so having a small cabin or something like that with my own property, with land and water on it, I don't need anything more than that.
That's what
I
I'm.
don't need a Lambo. I don't care about it. You know, I could drive a Toyota Corolla. I'll probably get a nice truck so I can go, get the 4-wheel drive if I need it. But really, it's just not necessary. So to me, there's a lower amount that we need for me to call that a moon, right? Just like you're saying, if it gets to a certain dollar amount, I'm good. I can go ahead and move on and do my thing just like I want to. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people in this space, maybe, there's all this talk of getting Lambos and all this crazy stuff. And I know it became like a meme and a joke, but a lot of people do. They want to make tons of money and spend it on dumb shit. I mean, that's just not me.
Well, Duck, I mean, Oak, at 28, that I may have been, open to falling into that trap.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I'm 58. I've got hair now growing out of my nose and my ears at a tremendous rate, and
I'm right there with you.
crawling back up my forehead and coming out my ears and out my nose. I'm not here to impress anybody with the size of my house or how much I paid for transportation. That's just not it's just not where I gain my worth anymore.
You've reached a new stage of life. You know that when you get the ear hair coming out,
I got here, bro. I mean, my special purchase the other day was a new nose hair and ear hair clipper.
There you go.
And it works really good. I'm really, if I was getting real close-ups on this interview, you could see that, very clean in the nose hair and in the ear hair area.
Thank God I got the earmuffs on today. So
yeah, it helps. Yeah, and these younger people, Oak, what the thing is they got no idea what's coming. They have no idea what this older, getting older stuff is really going to be all about until you actually get here. I mean,
priorities change.
Yeah.
You get a family, you get your 30s, and you're starting to pay. You got to pay the bills, and you got to take care of the situation. So, for me, I just want to make my life easier. A lot of people are like, "Oh, would you cash out at $5? Would you cash out at 10?" I do want to make profits, right? I do want to make profits, but I am holding on because I do think that, like we talked about before, is a lot of people got shook out. A lot of weak hands got shook out. I think the people who are here last and are still holding out, they're going to be the big winners.
Me too. Me too. All right. So, in last year around November, October, November, Brad Garlinghouse said that we were in a marathon, not a sprint. Said that he felt like at that time we were about at mile 3. Do you think that the pandemic has made the pace that we're running towards the finish line quicker? And how far away do you feel like we are from the finish line now?
You know what? I feel like we got kind of set back in some ways and kind of boosted in others. As far as crypto adoption as a whole, I think that there is a plan to kind of push that agenda, and I think if you go and see that there's a coin shortage mysteriously, I think that'll go to that goes to show, right? They're trying to move away from cash in hand and fiat. So I think that is of benefit to crypto. As far as Ripple, I think it probably set them back. I don't know where we're at. It's hard to say. Ripple, really does a good job of keeping everyone in the dark. And, I've heard that they've been kind of changing around their plans to maybe go to small, medium-sized businesses and stuff like that because of kind of the chicken and the egg issue. The liquidity isn't there. We can't really offer our services to these giant banks, but we can offer it to these small, medium-sized, and we can build that up and, then start bringing in the bigger banks. So, I think probably they got set back in a way, but I think it's for the better. It's the path of least resistance. So maybe that walk or whatever, Garlinghouse things we're at can start turning into a jog or something like that. But I mean, it's tough to say. There's no transparency really now with what's going on, and they may add more clients, but are they using ODL? That's the question, right?
Right. Well, the one thing that I always fall back on is the fundamentals. And again, I don't have a business degree. I'm not an economic advisor, financial advisor, but I do, I can sit down and try to look very simply at does it solve a problem? Does what a company is doing solve a problem? And it is very easy for a second grader to understand that the payment system that the world is working on right now, SWIFT, needs an upgrade.
Right. The whole financial system needs an upgrade, and I think we're bound to see it. And is Ripple going to be the number one driving force using XRP to do that? Don't know, but there may be some other cryptos. But like I said before, you get one crypto, and it brings up the profile of everything else. So, I don't care, like I said, if these guys want to buy Bitcoin and drive the price up like crazy, go for it. But I think there is a future. I think there is great fundamentals for XRP. There's plenty of uses for it, and people are already using it. I mean, I guess it's just a wait and see, and that's kind of where I've been at, honestly. The fundamentals are there. I don't see a reason why this isn't going to be successful for me and you and any other hodler. I don't. Does that mean, that there is a chance that this could go south? Absolutely. I will say this. I'm not the kind of person that's going to continue to hold my XRP to zero if there's some type of, situation where it becomes clear that Ripple and XRP are not going to be used and something else is. I'll say that. I'm not going to be stubborn and hold my crypto and lose all of my money, but I do have a lot of faith, and I think it's a long-term play.
Well, and I look back at it, like I don't think the people that are running MoneyGram are stupid, and they entered a partnership with Ripple. I don't think that Mr. Cattell from SBI, I don't think he's stupid. I don't think that Greg Kidd, when he went to Ripple as an investor and asked them for a job, I don't think he's stupid. And then you look at all of the connections that they made.
The connections are massive.
And I don't know if you watched the SPQR, the truth and the goodbye video that they made.
I didn't watch it all. I started watching it, but I didn't get through it all.
Well, the part that I found the most interesting was there is a board member that joined the Ripple board in 2014, and his name is Klaus von Gutenberg. And it turns out that he is in the bloodline of the Medici family.
Oh, really?
Which is the Holy Roman Empire family that started banking.
Right.
And then they got pushed out in a power move by I can't remember the name. It was either the Frugers or the Flugers. I can't remember which name that was. But in a power play, they pushed them out of the banking business. And so now it looks like the old Medici want to get back in the banking business.
Yeah, maybe that's what this is all about, huh? Yeah. Maybe they're trying to get back in on it. I wouldn't be surprised. It's crazy, but you go back. That's the big thing I think people seem to forget nowadays is just how much you can predict and how much you can see the future if you just look at history, real
Yep.
history. People seem to forget that. I think it's one of the most important things for people to study nowadays. And I mean, I think this, same thing with cryptocurrency and the adoption of the internet and all these events, the .com boom. These are situations that happen time and time again. There's
Yeah.
booms and busts, there's bubbles. I think there's money to be made, and I think if you look at history, you can see the way things are going to go. So
Yeah.
people
I think
seem to forget that now.
life is cyclical, and if people study them enough, they should be able to see that they're kind of predictable. And I'm 58, and I'm a little older than you. But when I was growing up, I didn't have the internet to satisfy my curiosity. I had a magic 8 ball. You ever seen a magic 8 ball? That was it. That was our internet at the time. And luckily, I'm alive at this time in history because I wake up more excited every day now than at any point in my entire life, because I am so excited because I believe the things that are happening, the advancement in the technology, I think it doesn't scare me. I think it's cool that we'll be able to send money as easily and as quickly as we send data. I think that's a good thing. I thought it was a good thing when we went from a cassette to a CD. I like that. I like my phone. I like the conveniences of the technological changes that have come along. So, and I believe that there are more changes coming. And as we move into the internet of everything, Oak, I believe that there are going to be economic opportunities besides what we're involved in now. But if I can get, a big pile of money that I can work with, I'm glad that it's happened at this stage of my life than if I was 28, because I would have been the one that had just gone out there and blown it all. That's what I would have done.
It's funny you say all that, but I'm totally the opposite way when it comes to this and the tech stuff. As much as I am a techie, as much as I love to play on the phone and play on the computer and work on that stuff and get into crypto, and I know a lot about tech. I work in tech. I'd love to go back 200 years. There's good and there's bad. I will say that, right? I'm not going to can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
And it's how it's used. I agree with that.
Right. It's how it's used. Like the social media thing. I mean, even YouTube, like sometimes I think, do I really want to be on a video? Do I really want to have the comments down below? Do I really want to, put myself out there like that? It almost feels narcissistic. So that's just kind of my take on it. I think tech is kind of taking over people, and I think it kind of it kind of brings people further apart in some ways. That's my opinion about tech. I'm personally like the kind of person that likes to be outdoors, hunt, fish. I use a traditional bow. I mean, I like the low tech stuff. So, like I said, if crypto could not be a thing, that would be better in my mind. But like I said, I'm trying to take the good with the bad. And I think, yes, you're right. I think there will be more advancements. There will be more opportunities. We're just going to see that. I think that, there's no question. My question is just, how much will our freedoms be taken from us to make that trade? What's that going to cost?
Yeah, I got you. All right. Well, one of the things that I always do as we kind of wind this down, one of the things that I always do is now that you've been through having a friendly conversation with me, a message to the other people that I am reaching out to and asking them to do what we just did. Any word of encouragement of them, whether they think that their shit doesn't stink and they don't need to waste their time with the little peon like me, or on the other end of the spectrum, that there may be somebody who, if I ask them if they'd come on and do an interview with me, the response I get back to them is, oh, well, who am I? Nobody, I really don't have anything to say.
Well, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's great for people to come on. I think it's great what you're doing to kind of get people's channels out there. Not only that, but just you kind of get like-minded people together, and it benefits the whole crypto community, especially XRP. So anybody out there, you know, if you get a request to do an interview, just take them up on it. Do a video,
Yeah.
have a little fun, have a conversation, because you got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
And get a little bit out of your comfort zone, and it's just a friendly conversation, and it really is just like you and I were in, you know, some restaurant in Chicago, and we just bumped into each other and decided to grab a hot dog, and we found out we both liked, you know, crypto, and we were both into XRP, and then we just had a conversation about it.
That's what it's all about. Come on and bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do on my channel. I think it's a fun thing. We have a lot more in common. People have a lot more in common than you really think, especially in the crypto space. It's a lot of like-minded people. So I think the more you could get together and talk and build that community, it's a good thing.
Well, I appreciate that. And then the other thing that I do is I also pre-invite everyone to come back at some point so we can continue the conversation. Because again, and I really do mean this, after Moon, what I'm trying to do is find like-minded friends. And seriously, if they begin to tokenize everything, I'd like to have 100 good friends that we could connect together with and go in on different projects and see what we could do to help some other people. Because again, Oak, I'm 58, dude. I'm getting into the last third of my life. What I want to do is see what kind of a positive impact I can make in the lives of other people. I've been lucky that I've developed the skill of selling, so I can make money doing anything. You put me down anywhere, I'll find a way to survive and make a little more than extra, because I've got that skill of being able to sell. Not everybody likes to do it,
Right.
but I don't
That's a
care
acquired job, an acquired taste.
yeah, and I love it. I'm a rejection machine.
I like it too.
I mean, I've learned not to take it that personally. So no is not really personal. But beyond that, I really do believe that if we can find, you know, a good community of like-minded people who are well-funded, we could find some really good things to do to serve other people. But we've got to be able to meet each other and kind of find out if that's kind of the way that you think about things like I do. Then let's try to do some good together. And that, because again, the last third of my life, I'm looking to be able to make some type of a positive impact on the lives of other people, not just make money so I can buy, you know, nicer toys. Not really that important anymore.
Yeah, it's a godly goal. It's honestly, you could make a big impact, and especially if you build a real community of people that, you know, want to give back and help people with what they've been given. So I'm all about it.
Well, I appreciate it very much. And again, thank you for responding to me, and thank you for coming on. And I'm going to pre-invite you to come back later so we can contrast that we got together the first time on July the 24th. And then, you know, a month or so away, we get back together and see what kind of progress we feel like we've made.
No doubt about it. Let's do it. I'm down.
All right,
and sorry for being late there.
Hey, no problem. I was up anyway. And there's one quick thing I wanted to show you real quick when we get finished here, and we'll cut this off. And everyone, hey, out there in XRP Army land, you guys take care of yourselves. And do me one favor. Do this one day and see how it works out for you. I want you to focus on every single person that you run into tomorrow. Treat them like it is the last time that you're ever going to see them. And just keep that in the back of your mind and see if that doesn't change the way that you treat other people, and see what happens.
Absolutely.
All right?
Behind you, 100%.
Take care, everyone. All right. Take care, everyone.